Hey everyone, welcome back to the English Learning Podcast, the show where we help you speak better, listen smarter, and feel more confident in English. I'm Brain.
And I'm Anna. Today's episode is super important, especially if you've ever said, I understand English when it's slow, but when native speakers talk fast, I get lost.
Yes, that's one of the most common problems English learners face. You study, you learn grammar, but when someone speaks naturally, it feels like they're speaking a different language.
Exactly. That's because native English speakers use linking, reductions, fast rhythm, and even skip words in daily conversation. But don't worry, we're going to help you fix that.
In this episode, we'll share 5 powerful tips that can help you understand English even when it's fast. Plus, we'll give you practical exercises, a listening challenge, and even some personal tips from our own language learning journeys.
So if you're ready to stop saying, what did they just say? And start feeling confident when listening to English podcasts, movies, or real conversations, stick with us.
Let's dive right into why fast English feels so hard and how you can finally understand it like a native speaker. All right, before we jump into the tips, let's talk about something important. Why is fast English so difficult to understand?
Yeah, because it's not just about speed. A lot of learners think, oh, I just need to listen to faster English and I'll get it. But actually, there are several hidden reasons that make it hard.
Exactly. First, let's talk about how native speakers actually speak. We don't always say every word clearly or slowly like in textbooks. We link words, drop sounds, and use reduced forms like gonna instead of going to.
Right. Think about the sentence, what are you going to do? In natural conversation, it becomes, what are you going to do? That's very different from what learners are taught in school.
So true. And the second reason is most learners focus too much on individual words. But in fast English, native speakers use chunks or phrases that carry meaning together. If you try to catch every single word, your brain just can't keep up.
Yep, and another big reason is listening only to slow, clear English. English made for learners like in beginner audiobooks or school lessons. It's great at first, but your brain doesn't get trained to hear the real music of English.
Oh, I love that you said music of English, because fast English really has a rhythm, a kind of melody. It's not just words being thrown quickly. There's a flow to it, and once you start recognizing that, you'll begin to understand better.
Totally. And one last thing, some learners think there's something wrong with them if they don't understand fast English, but it's not a problem with your brain, it's just a lack of training, like a muscle you haven't used yet.
Absolutely. So don't feel bad if you struggle. You just need the right techniques and some consistent practice. And we're about to show you exactly how to do that.
Let's go to our first powerful tip to help you understand fast English better, starting with training your ears using real-life English content. All right, tip 1, and this is a game changer, train your ears with real English. Not textbook English, not classroom English, real, natural English.
That's right. The English you hear in movies, YouTube videos, podcasts, or even casual conversations, it's completely different from what's in most English learning apps.
Exactly. In real English, people talk fast, they use slang, and they often speak with emotion or casual tone. If you only listen to scripted or robotic English, your brain doesn't learn to deal with natural speed and rhythm.
So here's what you should do. Choose content that's made for native speakers, not learners. That could be your favorite Netflix series, English vlogs, TED Talks, interviews, whatever you find interesting.
And don't worry if you don't understand everything at first. That's totally normal. The goal is to train your brain to get used to the sounds and patterns, not to understand every single word.
Think of it like this. When you start listening to fast English, It's like entering a gym for your ears. At first, everything feels heavy and confusing, but if you do a little bit every day, your ears get stronger. You start to catch more.
Absolutely. And here's a good way to begin. Step 1, watch or listen to a short clip, maybe 1 to 2 minutes. Step 2, use subtitles in English and read along the first time. Step 3, then listen again without subtitles. Try to catch the meaning. Step 4, replay certain parts again and again if needed.
Yes! And choose content that's just a little bit above your level. Not super hard, not super easy. Something that challenges you just enough to grow.
One more thing, don't jump from video to video. Pick one clip and stick with it. Repeat it until your brain starts recognizing the patterns. This kind of deep listening is much more powerful than watching 10 random videos.
So, the bottom line is, if you want to understand fast English, you need to stop only listening to learner-friendly English and start training with the real stuff. Even 10 minutes a day can make a huge difference.
Exactly. And guess what? The more real English you listen to, the more your brain will automatically adjust. You'll hear a phrase one day and then recognize it instantly the next. That's the magic of training your ears.
Coming up next, Tip 2 is all about high-frequency words and how they can help you unlock fast English. You won't want to miss this one. All right, Tip 2. This one is super practical and often overlooked. Focus on high-frequency words and phrases.
Yes, this is a huge secret. Did you know that in everyday English, just a few hundred words and phrases make up most of what people actually say?
Exactly. According to studies, about 80% of daily conversation is built from the 1,000 most common words and phrases. So, if you focus on those, you will understand a lot more even when people speak fast.
Think about it. Native speakers repeat the same expressions all the time. Phrases like, "You know what I mean?" "I'm not sure." "What's going on?" "Swing." "Let me see." "No way." These come up constantly.
Right. But many learners spend time learning rare or formal words like notwithstanding or consequently that almost never show up in real-life conversation.
Exactly. So here's what you can do. Start building a list of real phrases you hear often in TV shows, interviews, or podcasts. Pay attention to how they're used, not just what they mean. Then practice saying them out loud until they feel natural.
This is so powerful because fast English often sounds confusing when we try to understand it word by word. But when you recognize whole phrases, your brain doesn't need to translate it, just understands instantly.
Yes, your goal is to get to the point where when someone says, "What do you mean?" Зрение. Ваш мозг воспринимает его как одно целое, не 5 отдельных слов.
Exactly. That's how native speakers process language. They don't hear, "What do you mean?" slowly. It just flows as "What do you mean?" And when you've already heard that 100 times, it clicks.
So, to understand fast English, don't just study individual words. Study real-life combinations chunks, expressions, patterns. That's how your listening gets faster and your understanding becomes automatic.
All right. Up next, Tip 3 is going to help you master one of the biggest challenges in fast English: reductions and linking sounds. This is where things really get fun. All right. Tip 3 is one of the biggest reasons why fast English sounds so confusing: reductions and linking sounds.
Yes, this is where a lot of learners get stuck. You've probably heard native speakers say things like, "What you doing?" instead of "What are you doing?" And you think, "Wait, what was that?"
Exactly. In natural English, we almost never pronounce every word clearly. We reduce, we link, we blend sounds together. And if you don't know what to expect, it sounds like a completely different language.
Let's give a few examples. I'm going to becomes I'm gonna did you becomes didya, let me becomes lemmy, what do you becomes what do you.
And those aren't mistakes. That's how native speakers really talk. If you learn to recognize these patterns, fast English will suddenly make a lot more sense.
Absolutely. And it's not just reductions, linking sounds also play a big role. Like instead of saying turn it off clearly, someone might say turn it off all as one word.
Or get out of here sounds like gaduda here. The sounds link together like a chain, and your brain has to get used to hearing the music of English, not just the words.
So, how do you practice this? Step 1. Listen to real English clips and write down what you think you hear. Step 2. Then check with subtitles or a transcript. Step 3. Notice where words are reduced or linked. Step 4. Practice repeating the exact same way.
This is called shadowing, and it's super effective. You don't just listen and understand, you listen, repeat, and train your mouth and ears at the same time.
And don't worry if it feels weird at first. You're not trying to copy the accent, you're just training your ear to catch the flow of native English.
Exactly. And once you're used to these reductions, things like, "What do you want to do?" won't sound like a mystery anymore. They'll sound familiar like music you've heard before.
So remember, reductions and linking sounds are not the enemy, they're your friends. The more you notice them, the faster your listening skills will grow.
Coming up next, Tip 4 is all about active listening. We'll show you how to stop being a passive listener and start training your brain like a pro. Okay, moving on to Tip 4, this one's all about active listening. And trust me, this can completely change the way you understand fast English.
Yes. A lot of learners do passive listening, like playing English audio in the background while doing chores or scrolling on their phones. That's okay sometimes, but it's not enough if you want real improvement.
Exactly. If you want to understand fast English, you need to engage with it. That means giving your full attention, pausing, repeating, and really focusing on what's being said.
Let me give you a practical way to do this. Take a short audio or video clip, maybe from a podcast or a show you like, and do this. Step 1. Listen to the full clip without subtitles. Just try to get the general idea. Step 2. Now, play it again, but pause after every sentence and repeat it out loud. Step 3. Focus on the intonation, speed, and word connections. Try to copy exactly how they say it.
This is what we call shadowing. It's one of the most powerful techniques for listening. You're not just listening, you're training your brain and mouth together.
And the best part? When you repeat what you hear, you start to notice patterns like reductions, linking sounds, or common expressions. Things that once sounded fast or confusing suddenly start to make sense.
Also, try this. After shadowing, play the clip one more time with subtitles or a transcript. Check how much you actually caught. Were you close? Did you miss something?
That reflection is important. It helps your brain connect the sounds to the meaning, and that's what builds long-term listening skills.
You don't need hours a day. Even 10 to 15 minutes of active listening daily will help you improve much faster than just listening passively for hours.
So remember, active listening means you're not just hearing English, you're studying it, mimicking it, and engaging with it. It's like going from watching someone play guitar to actually picking up the guitar and practicing.
And guess what? Once your brain gets used to this kind of focused listening, fast English won't feel fast anymore. It'll just feel normal.
All right, tip 5 is coming up next, and we're going to talk about how to use subtitles wisely. Yes, there's a smart way and a wrong way. All right, tip 5 is something most learners already use, but not always the right way, and that's use subtitles wisely.
Yes, subtitles can be a great tool, but if you depend on them all the time, they can actually slow down your listening progress.
Exactly. Some learners watch entire movies or series with subtitles in their native language like Persian, Spanish, or Hindi. That feels comfortable, but your brain doesn't learn to process English naturally.
Right. Your brain just keeps translating instead of listening. So here's what we recommend. Step 1. Watch with English subtitles, especially for new or challenging content. Step 2. As you improve, try watching without subtitles and only turn them on when you really need help. Step 3. Finally, watch the clip again without any subtitles and try to understand just by listening.
It's like training wheels on a bicycle. Subtitles help you at the beginning, but if you never take them off, you never really learn to balance on your own.
Great example. And here's a bonus tip. After watching something with subtitles, pause and repeat short parts out loud. Try to match the rhythm and pronunciation exactly like the speaker.
Yes, that way you're not just reading, you're connecting the sound with the text and practicing listening, speaking, and pronunciation all at once.
Another fun idea. Watch first with subtitles, then rewatch without them the next day. You'll be surprised how much more you understand the second time.
So remember, subtitles are a tool, not a crutch. Use them to grow, not to hide. And over time, your ears will get sharper and subtitles won't even feel necessary anymore.
Coming up next, one of our favorite parts of the show. We're sharing our personal tips and real-life stories of how we improved our own listening skills. All right, now it's time for one of my favorite segments where we get personal. Anna, why don't you kick things off? What's one listening habit that really helped you understand fast English better?
Sure. So for me, it was actually watching American sitcoms like Friends or The Office over and over. The first time I didn't understand much, but I loved the characters and the humor, so I kept watching. And I started noticing phrases they repeated all the time.
Oh, that's a good one. Sitcoms are full of everyday language. And because the conversations are short and funny, they're easy to remember.
Exactly. And I also used the pause-repeat shadow method. I'd hear a funny or emotional line, pause, and try to say it exactly like the actor, same speed, same emotion. It helped my ears and pronunciation at the same time.
I love that. For me, one of the best things I did was listening to English podcasts during my walks. I made it a daily routine. Even if I didn't catch every word, I kept listening. Over time, my brain just started to catch the patterns.
Oh yes, making it a habit is huge. A little bit every day beats a long study session once a week.
Definitely. And I also used to write down cool phrases I heard in a small notebook or in my phone. Then I'd review them before bed, or even try to use them in conversation the next day.
Smart move. So whether you're into comedy, news, or real-life stories, the key is to make English part of your life, not just part of your study time.
Exactly. It doesn't have to feel like school. Make it fun, make it yours, and your ears will improve naturally.
Coming up, we've got a challenge for our listeners. It's time to take what you've learned and put it into practice. All right, listeners, it's challenge time. If you want to really boost your ability to understand fast English, I've got a simple but powerful challenge for you.
Sounds exciting. What's the challenge, Anna?
Okay, here it is. For the next 3 days, spend just 10 minutes each day listening to a short English clip, something natural, like a podcast segment, a scene from a TV show, or a YouTube video where people speak fast.
And what exactly should they do during those 10 minutes?
Great question. Here's the step-by-step. 1. First, listen. Listen without subtitles and try to catch the general meaning. Second, listen. Use English subtitles and read along to check what you missed. Third, listen. Listen again without subtitles. But this time, pause and repeat some parts out loud to practice.
That's doable and very effective. And how can listeners share their progress?
If you want, share your favorite phrase or your experience in the comments or on social media. Tag us, we'd love to hear how you're doing.
Awesome. Remember, the key is consistency. Just 10 minutes every day for 3 days can make a big difference.
Exactly. So grab your headphones, pick your clip, and start training those ears. You got this.
Before we finish today's episode, let's talk about something really important: mindset. Because understanding fast English isn't just about speed.
Yes, so many learners get frustrated because they try to keep up with how fast native speakers talk. They think they need to hear every word perfectly at full speed. But that's actually the wrong focus.
Right. The truth is, fast English sounds complicated because your brain hasn't learned the patterns yet. It's like seeing a puzzle without knowing how the pieces fit.
Exactly. When you focus on learning the patterns, chunks, and rhythms of English, the speed becomes less important. Your brain starts to recognize familiar groups of words, so understanding becomes easier.
It's the difference between listening to a random noise and hearing a song you know well. Once you know the tune, even if it's fast, you can follow along.
And remember, every native speaker went through this when they were kids. They didn't understand everything at first. It took time, exposure, and practice.
So be patient with yourself. Celebrate small wins, like catching a phrase you didn't understand yesterday, or recognizing a reduction for the first time.
Your brain is capable of understanding fast English. It just needs the right training and mindset. So keep practicing, keep listening, and most importantly, keep believing in yourself. Your brain is capable of understanding fast English. It just needs the right training and mindset. So keep practicing, keep listening, and most importantly, keep believing in yourself.
You're making progress even if it doesn't feel like it every day. Stick with it, and soon, fast English will feel natural.
All right, that's some powerful motivation to end on.
All right, let's quickly recap the key points from today's episode on how to understand fast English.
First, train your ears with real English movies, podcasts, and everyday conversations.
Second, focus on high-frequency words and phrases that native speakers use all the time.
Third, learn common reductions and linking sounds. They're everywhere in fast speech.
Fourth, practice active listening, daily shadowing, repeating, and really engaging with the audio.
And finally, use subtitles wisely. Start with English subtitles and gradually wean yourself off.
Remember, understanding fast English isn't about catching every word perfectly. It's about recognizing patterns and training your brain over time.
Keep practicing consistently, be patient with yourself, and celebrate your progress.
Thanks so much for listening. We hope these tips help you feel more confident and ready to take on fast English. And that's a wrap for today's episode of the English Learning Podcast. Thanks so much for joining us.
If you found this episode helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends who want to understand fast English better.
Also, drop a comment below telling us which tip was your favorite, or share your results from Anna's 3-day challenge.
And be sure to follow us on social media for more tips, updates, and fun English learning content.
We'll see you in the next episode, where we'll dive even deeper into speaking English more naturally.
Until then, keep listening, keep practicing,